and welcome back to my channel. My name is Karina Rivera, and if this is the first time watching any of my videos, I'm an actor and a model. And if you clicked on today's video, you want to know how to get on TV. My last live televised event was on ABC. It's called New Year's Eve with Ryan Seacrest. I was in New Orleans with Billy Porter. I want to help you get on television, answer all your questions, do's and don'ts. So let's start this video.
Hey, I need a lady boss, lady boss. I need a lady boss. Hey, I need a lady boss, lady boss. I need a lady boss.
Disclaimer. These tips are also based on location as well as how your photos perform, how you look like. It might not apply to many, but these tips and tricks will help you on your next casting. Talk about management and representation. Do you need a manager? No. Do you need a representative? No. Is it good to have one? Yes. What are the pros of actually having a management company? Agents and management companies kind of get priorities when it comes to auditions. Anything else that they couldn't find the role for, they'll kind of look outside of house, but most of them do source inside house. They also have connections as well with directors and producers because they've been doing this for a very long time. So they might get an email before anybody else gets to apply. And that is a really big advantage because it also has to do with timing. If you're one of the first people to apply to the role, you're most likely to get it. Cons of having a modeling company: they don't guarantee work. You probably have to pay them a 10% fee. That means if you book something on your own, they are entitled because you signed a contract with them. If you work with anybody else, you have to give them money because they technically do represent you. If you want to go through the modeling school, it's how much you actually want to take this industry seriously. Reality is there's so many jobs being posted daily. It's kind of hard to keep up. Nobody is really going in there and searching for these roles specifically for you. They have a lot of talent. They don't really have the time to be doing that. You have to be applying for these jobs all the time. They're not going to be consistent, going to pay a lot of money, location, driving, airplane tickets. They're not going to be paid unless it's a really big production and they really want you. Odds of you landing a lead role for a major movie are very slim to none. You have to start somewhere, and an actor is not going to make you a lot of money in the first couple of years. You might book something one day and you might not book anything 6 months later, but that's the reality about acting. You're going to have a job that's very flexible, that you know anything about filming maybe 1 to 2 days before, and pack a bag, get on your flight. These events, it's really rare unless it's like a big project, that you get a timeline. They don't tell you if you get the gig until a few days before. That's the reality of being an actor. You're also gonna have to start with little basic jobs such as like background acting. If you manage to get into a really big production, you can actually get an IMDB credit, which means that you were part of the cast. You can put that in your profile when you start applying to agencies and they see you have an IMDB. They know that you have experience and they know that you've been doing this for a while. Priority on that as well. Currently, I'm about to be on my 3rd credit. That was a whole completely different world to me, which I am going to be making videos on that as well. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. Kind of have to move yourself from background and kind of like move your way up and just start doing these small gigs that you think you might fit for these roles. Just keep going, keep doing it. Just don't stop acting, just keep doing it. How to get castings. Look up casting calls in your area. There's like a really good website that's called Background. I know that it is available, for example, in San Diego, Florida, many more places. Look up background calls. They do pay. Personally, I will not work in a production for free. Some of them are paid gigs, some of them are not. I think it's fair to pay somebody at least something for their time. I understand that there are low budget productions, but eventually they're gonna make a lot of money. So give us something. You can also find gigs on Facebook, Instagram, Craigslist. Keep looking. but beware of scams. I have scam videos, which I have a show called the Brand Ambassador Scam Show, and I audit Instagram accounts. If you get a casting call, look up their Instagram account, look at any of the other videos that I've made in the past. That will show you the red flags to look for in a company. If you see any of those red flags, or if you have questions, you're more than welcome to email me. The email and everything will be on the description below. I can kind of tell you if it's a legit project or not. Go to film festivals, go network, go meet with people. Never ever stop networking with these people, because there's so many projects out there. There's so many things being filmed. You're kind of like right there in front of it and missing so many opportunities. Keep looking, start applying. I apply maybe 50 jobs a month and I might catch like 3 or 5. Your odds of landing something will increase if you increase your proactivity towards your acting career. What about photos? I do not have professional photos. I do own a professional camera. I just ain't got the time for it. It hasn't been a problem to me. But this is where I think location has a very, very important role. In California, you're gonna want headshots. In New York, you're gonna want headshots. Chicago, you're gonna want headshots. Anywhere else, to me, doesn't seem like they require the headshots. I cast a lot out of Atlanta, New Orleans, Mississippi are states that are coming up in the film industry. A lot of our favorite films are actually filmed in Georgia, all of these little towns, because it's cheaper. Hollywood, taxes, Hollywood, it's so overrated. Yes, they're working more over here. We actually get a lot of producers, companies from California bring their whole entire team and come work up here just because labor's cheap. There's less people. You can actually get the shots that you want. The beaches are completely alone. It's director's heaven. Gulfport is an upcoming state when it comes to video production. You would never think about it. Totally does not make sense. I applied so many times for background in San Diego and I never got anything, and I moved and it made such a difference in my career. Such a difference. Sometimes you just have to take risks. It is very important for you to have professional pictures. Do not send pictures where your head, where you have this much space. You want to send a head shot. You don't want to cake it up. Girls, ladies, your makeup. Producers want you natural, because you're going to play a character. Producers don't want to see a lot of makeup because they're going to transform you. The project is going to transform you into a character. You're putting so much makeup, they're kind of going to be like, oh, is she the one? Is he the one? I don't know. So try to avoid having that little conflict. They're just going to move on to the next person. They are not going to give you that much time. They're just going to be like, next. Another tip, follow directions, and not only on set, but follow directions when it comes to applying. If the email says include all of this, you make sure you include all of that. Why? Because if you can't follow basic directions, they're going to think this person can't follow directions on set. They will discard your application. So make sure to follow directions. Back to the pictures, send in a body shot as well, where you're showing your complete body. Love black and white. The don'ts: do not use filters. Do not send selfies. Do not send selfies. That looks so unprofessional. Not send a photo of you like 5 years ago. If you get to the set, they already hired you. Don't look like what you look like in the picture, and that's their reality. They might pull you from the set and probably hire the makeup artist to do it. Don't put yourself in those kind of situations. Facetune, none of that. Might actually hurt you more. You might have paid for your travel, took the time off. It's gonna cost you more in the end, you doing that. Avoid doing that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I will be doing more kind of videos like this, as well as leave me a comment below if you want me to start a group where I can just start posting casting calls. That is completely up to you guys. I have a group for my scams. Go check out any of my other videos if you want to know if a company's kind of sketchy. I have over 100 videos on Instagram auditing things that have to do with this. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.